Hi, this is Simon from HomeKit News. Following on from the recently released PureFlow Smart Air Purifier, VOCOlinc have now released their very first sensor, the VS1 Smart Contact Sensor, with Bluetooth 5. Let's have a look. So, as is tradition here at HomeKit News, we start off with the packaging and the unboxing. So, as the box shows, this is the VS1 Smart Contact Sensor, and in this case it's the 2-pack we have. As you can see, the Works with HomeKit logo is on the top, and the rear just gives you a list of specs which I'm showing you on the side here. It uses Bluetooth 5, a CR2032 battery which should last up to 6 months, and has a large LED indicator on the front. When it comes to the box, it's actually quite slim, as is the sensor itself, which you'll see shortly, so there's no excessive packaging thankfully. And the first thing we get is a manual in English and French. The manual also includes 2 HomeKit QR codes stuck to the back, one for each sensor. The pack also comes with a set of double-sided adhesive stickers, so as this is a 2-pack you get 4 stickers for the sensors and 2 for the magnets, as the magnets already come with stickers in place. As you can also see, the sensors also come with stickers on the front with the HomeKit codes, and just to make sure you can check that the 2 codes on the booklet match the ones on the sensor. So I'm getting one sensor and an accompanying magnet out of the protective foam, and you begin to see the shape of the product and how it differs from other sensors in terms of size. The main sensor is about 1/3 wider than some other sensors you might find, like the Aqara door and window sensor for example, but it's also flatter, coming in at only 9mm or approximately 1/3 of an inch deep, with the magnet even smaller at only 8mm deep. It's nice that you can actually place the magnet on either side of the sensor, which you don't always see, and even though the HomeKit code on the front can't be scanned, it's still useful to have. The green LED ring acts as both an indicator and as a reset button if you need to reset the device at any point. Now, both the sensor and the magnet come with these little circular markings so that you can align them for optimum effectiveness. Now, call me obsessive, but I do like that they've been consistent with the design language here, using circles for the indicators, for the markings, and for the battery compartment, which we're looking at next. Unlike the CooGeek door and window sensors I have, which have proven to be very difficult to get into, the battery cover in this case is a breeze to open and close. I'll just demonstrate the LED ring now, and as you can see, each time the sensor is triggered, the LED ring will light up, which to me looks quite futuristic. As already mentioned, the sensor is quite wide, but it's also fairly shallow, and overall, while this may be an issue for some, I quite like the look of it, to be honest, even if I doubt I'll be looking at it on a daily basis. Now, on this occasion I'm going to be setting this device up via the Home app as opposed to the VOCOlinc app, but it's very straightforward, so even if you've never done one of these things before, it's very simple. You simply click Add Accessory, scan the HomeKit code. Now in this case you'll probably notice that this code is not scannable like I already mentioned, so you do have to scan the code from the booklet. I've covered one of the codes so it doesn't scan the wrong there's a QR code and trying to add the wrong sensor, but as you can see now the sensor starts to slowly blink, and I'm just speeding up the whole process here. It's added, I'm naming it, putting it into a room, adding it as a favourite, and away you go. Now that it's added into the Home app, it appears with its own little tile, and now this is a Bluetooth device, and I have consistently noticed that newly added Bluetooth devices tend to be a bit slow on the uptake at first, but after a few seconds they start to behave, and as you can see in this demo, the reaction times are pretty good, although whether the sensor is directly connected to my phone or is connecting to my nearest home hub, I'm not sure. Nevertheless, I have tried it in other locations and it's been fairly consistent. I feel I do need to point out one design flaw which I've found, but luckily I've also found a simple solution to the problem. Now this problem is that once you stick the sensor to the door, you can't access the battery compartment basically without having to totally remove the device from the door frame or the door. This is due to the battery compartment being on the same side as the adhesive sticker, of course. However, instead of sticking the adhesive to the blank area, I simply cut the sticker into a circle, the same size as the battery cover, and stuck the adhesive sticker there. So when it comes time to change the battery, I simply turn the sensor 90 degrees anti-clockwise with the battery cover staying in place. All very straightforward. Now, I've spoken to VOCOlinc about this, and subsequent packages will come with circular stickers instead of you having to get yourself a pair of scissors. So finally onto the pros and cons, and in terms of the pros, it's a Bluetooth 5 device with 4 times the range of the previous version of Bluetooth. Because it's Bluetooth, you don't even need a Wi-Fi network connection. You also don't need a hub compared to many Zigbee options. I do personally like the stylish design with the green LED that matches other VOCOlinc products, and the magnet can be placed on either side of the sensor. Now in terms of cons, the short battery life has to be addressed, and this could be because of the large green LED, I don't know. The wide sensor does mean that it may be too wide for some door frames, but you can place it on the door itself, which shouldn't be an issue. And finally, the battery cover not being easy to access unless you use the solution mentioned is a little bit of a problem, but it's not really a problem. So on balance, I like them, but it really depends on whether you like the low battery life and you're into Bluetooth basically. So that wraps up my basic overview of the VOCOlinc VS1, but you can head over to HomeKitNews.com for a more in-depth review of this product. So it just remains for me to say thanks again and see you in the next one.